Hello?
Hello. Ah, fuck.
Greetings.
It's like light versus dark.
Yeah, I was just here going like, oh my god. Okay, I can see his face. It's like, at first I just noticed Kiki's hair. And then Cupcake pointed out, I was like, oh yeah. Cupcake, Lord of Darkness, out from the abyss.
Yeah, this product sucked. I've watched it once, and it's almost already back to the blonde from the
I was gonna say your hair looks like cotton.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lovely
Right.
color, but it's not what I wanted.
It's kind of like the color, like, it's almost like become the color that, like, albino people are naturally. It's not white,
Yeah.
It's not blonde, it's kind of mute.
Like a matte white?
Yeah, it's not like it's like light almond or something, like it's not like an off-white. I mean it is, but it's not like stark white, it's not blonde, there's no yellow, very little yellow. It's
Well, it still has some of the green in it.
Now I see it reflecting.
I mean, the word that comes to mind is dingy, but that's not what I would call it, because it doesn't, like, look dingy.
Hello and welcome to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Mish. This pandemic is frightening. No. Stay safe, my fellow internet beings. Enjoy the show.
So how is
I am
everyone?
a very tired Cupcake. This is my...
And I guess
Yeah,
Mish
she
had
must
a
have.
call.
First day off
My
in
poor
a week and a half, 10 days, something like that. I went grocery shopping. I had to change the towels in the corner of my office because it rained like a mother sucker last night and they were sopping wet. So I picked them up, put some dry ones down to sop up what was left, and then threw them all in the washer and turned that on. Then I'm letting the ground or the concrete basically dry. Then I'll put dry towels back down for the next rainstorm tonight. The house was built to do this because it's built into bedrock. It was built in the 60s. They didn't have like modern drainage systems like they do now. And I'm just not going to invest $20,000 into digging around our foundation to put in drainage. Because we'd have to basically take out the foundational walls, put in drainage tile, put in a sump basin and a sump pump, and basically sump it out into the sewer. But it's like $25,000 altogether to do that, and it only does this. So basically, there's one corner of the house where the water comes in, and then once the rock has had enough time to drain, it drains back through the foundation and into the rock and the ground. So it puddles up for a little bit, and then it goes away after, like, let's say 5 hours of the rain stopping. It sinks back into the earth. Because otherwise, the hydraulic pressure in the rock would push the walls in. So the trade-off was that the basement doesn't flood, but there's a puddle in one corner of my room every time we get a hard rain. So in order to reduce the chance of mold, there's a dehumidifier over there and towels. So when it rains hard, I just change the towels, let the dehumidifier dry it out, and then put dry towels back down.
Yeah, even with the sump pump, my mom's house still the basement is flooded twice.
Right. We don't get flooding, thank God, but I hear you.
But yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm so grateful we don't flood because we're like 400 feet above floodplain. So it's not that the basement floods, we're built into rock, and so the rock can only filter so much water so quickly.
Yeah.
And the pressure on the walls would get so high without a give point that it would push the cinder block in, and our foundation would collapse. It's so fucky. Like, this was their way of getting around it in the 60s before modern sump systems existed, and we could fix the house so that it would have a modern sump system. But it's like $25,000 to $30,000, and the house is only worth $150,000. So it would A, drive up our taxes. B, it's not the kind of money I have. And the solution I came up with is not great, but is just as, whatever. I wouldn't say safe, but it's the safest way to do it without having to tear the walls out.
Yeah. Granted, that's one good thing of not having a basement, but the cons of not having a basement, because we just have a crawl space. There's some stuff that we could put in the basement, but can't, because, we do have an attic, but it's we're not going to put our Christmas tree. We can't, there's we have a side opening in the wall, where we can put the Christmas tree and stuff.
Right.
But it's you have to literally crawl in it and sit there and pass out the Christmas ornaments.
Right.
So it's stuff like that we could easily put in the basement if we had a basement. Don't.
It's one of those deals, there's nothing wrong with the engineering of the house. The basement was built to do what it's doing. It's all my friends around here freak out when they hear that the basement floods anytime there's a high rain. I'm like, this was engineered like this on purpose. And when I say flood, it's not a flood. It's a quarter inch tall, 3-foot wide puddle for about 4 hours while it's raining, and then once it stops, it drains back into the earth. And that was all to keep the hydraulic pressure from building up in the rock and basically pushing the walls in.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with what it is. I really should just pull all the stuff away from that wall and just let it do what it's doing. But, I got so much junk down here, basically, that I have everything on stilts around it and then just towels to sop it up.
I live in California. We neither have rain nor basements.
I live in Minnesota. Yeah. We have everything except for forest fires and earthquakes. Oh, and sandstorms. We don't get sandstorms here.
We already have forest fires.
I mean, we get forest fires, but not where I live. It's forest fires are up north. And not to the extent that you guys get, where half the state's on fire at one point.
What do you mean half?
Okay, the whole state's on fire. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I live in a place where it rains for 6 days at a time, okay? I'm sorry.
I wish.
Dude, it rained so goddamn hard last night. I am terrified. You can't even... that picture didn't do justice at how hard it was raining. To put in perspective, I was standing in the garage door of our garden center when I took that picture of our yard.
Wow.
And, and that's how much rain was coming down in the yard. I tried to take a picture out back where the storage area is. I stuck my hand out, and it was raining so hard it almost knocked the phone out of my hand.
Oh, shit. Let me retake a look at that picture, because I was staring at the clouds and not necessarily the rain.
Oh, and keep in mind, I'm looking away from the city.
you can kind of see the rain. There we go. I had to like unfocus my eyeballs. But yeah, Ohio's kind of like Minnesota. Like, we get the occasional small earthquake. We get the occasional tornado. And, we get snow and rain. But we don't get major earthquakes. We don't get hurricanes. We don't get forest fires. I mean, technically, in the major metropolitan area that I grew up in, we technically did set the river on fire. But technically, that was pollution. So.
Ah, yes, the Kawahaga. Kawahaga River, in which there was so much pollution that somebody threw a lit cigarette and the whole fucking river went up in flames. And that's why we have the Clean Water Act of 1971.
You could think that's Clevelanders to the Kawahaga River, and
you know what's
all
so
the
funny?
oil and shit floating on top of the river.
You know what's so funny, Mish? I remember you telling me about that river and nothing about it being on fire. And then I was in school and the teacher said, yeah, there was a river in Ohio. And it was at the Kawahaga. And she looked at me, she goes, how'd you know what it was called? I'm like, oh, my friend lives in Ohio. She was telling me about the river.
And now we have I don't know if I'm allowed to call them the Indians anymore.
No, you're not.
They
took away Chief Wahoo. So they just have the C now. So I'm like, from growing up, I would originally call them the Cleveland Indians, but Cleveland team, Clevelanders. I'm not sure if they've rebranded the name yet, but
they're one of the teams that like they're in flux because they don't know
what to name themselves,
what they're going to be called now.
The Clevelanders sounds nice.
So we already have the Lake Erie Monsters, which is the minor league hockey team. So I don't think they would do that.
They were the Grand Rapids Rustlers originally. Oh, dude, they were when they entered the National League, American League. They were originally called the Bluebirds.
That sounds about right.
Why not go back to the Bluebirds? That's totally safe. Like, nobody's gonna have an issue with the Bluebirds.
People are going to say it's too pansy.
Well,
or what about the Blue Jays or the Orioles?
Well, or they're going to have, if they don't have an issue with, they were going to name after birds, they're going to have an issue because, why are you changing it? It doesn't even change. We're so sensitive. It's like, oh my God, just
dude, and the best part is, the original Indians logo is so much more racist than the one they were using after that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, I bet.
I'm posting that in the chat. That is so fucking racist. It's still that like the smiling head, but that is incredibly racist. Look at him! Oh my God! Holy shit! It's like a Simpsons logo.
Yeah, and basically, it's yellow skin, total feather in the hair. The big nose.
God damn.
Mucho racism.
I mean, like they're like now. Yeah, this is the last year they're playing with the Indians name, and then they're gonna change something else next year.
Yeah, so they moved to the one that's been there for like my entire life practically, and then now they moved to just a C.
I love it. The Redskins are just going with the Washington football team because they can't decide on a name.
So for now, they're the Washington football team.
Yeah,
which I am perfectly fine with.
Nice.
I mean, they couldn't talk to the native community and come up with something like not racially insensitive. Like
They
what is the
could.
tribe where they are? What is that? I can't even think. It's the ones that build totem poles, isn't it?
I can't remember who those are, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's gonna be something really obvious. What do we got? Native Americans in the state of Washington. Oh yeah, the Chinook. There's all kinds. Yeah, there's tons of tribes in that state. Like, couldn't they talk to some of them and come up with I mean, I don't like with their approval. I don't know that would be racist, and it would still
No, it wouldn't be racist, but people would still bitch. Because there are hardliners who want no cultural stupid mouth.
Fine. The twins are going back to being the senators. Fuck you.
Well, and when have rich white men gone to any people of color to ask their opinion? Oops, wait a minute, that escaped my thought bubble.
I mean, like, well,
I mean, there's always exceptions.
I remember there's a high school team that's the I don't remember what town it is, but they're like the Ricers, and everybody was like, that's so fucking racist. They're like, they were referencing fucking the harvesting of wild rice by the natives.
Like,
yeah,
kind of like Kiki said, you know, even if it's the most,
and it's like a predominantly native town.
Yeah, so even if it's the most innocuous thing, it wasn't meant to be racist. There's gonna be somebody who's like,
Mish, the funniest fucking thing. It came up in state Congress, and they're like, all the old white farts are arguing about it, and then like the representative from that region's like, I don't know how to tell you kids this, but like, this is a native town. This is the name they came up with. It's like, oh, well, okay, and that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to happen again in a couple of generations.
Yeah.
So it would be safer to change it. Sadly.
Right.
So for like the Redskins or anything like that.
Oh, I'm not arguing about the Redskins. It was like what happened was they thought it was racist against Asian people.
I know, I get it.
They found out that they were referencing, like, their logo is a canoe full of wild rice.
Mm-hmm. Like, my birth town, the high school teams are named after things from the local tribe.
We're the ponies.
So I don't know how long that's gonna last.
And I quote, "Save a cowboy, ride a pony."
So, now, granted, I went to a public high school, so there's no issue with this. But what's funny is, so we were the Blue Devils, okay, and the local Catholic school,
Yeah.
which of course has a CYO stuff for like 7th, 8th graders, etc.
Right.
They're the Blue Angels.
Oh, of course. We had the whirling dervishes at one of the high schools, and that got taken out for being racist.
And I'm actually kind of surprised because I just verified something. There is a local high school kind of by where I work. Well, actually, I work from home right now, but, you know, where work is located and nearby there. And I can drive by on my way home if I want.
Yeah.
They're the Indians. And they haven't changed their name yet. Although there's an article here that says, group of Copley alumni call for removal of Indians team name. So there's already like, hey, let's maybe stop using this. Do you think?
Mm-hmm.
There was some anonymity because the next town over's high school team is the Polars. And everybody was like, that's racist against the Inuit people. And somebody had to mention it's short for polar bears.
Like, it's like we're gonna bitch about something, and if we can't bitch about this, we're gonna make something up to bitch about.
They're called the polar bears because there was an albino black bear called that was named for the lake, White Bear Lake. So they're the polar bears because saying that they were the white bears, that just confuses people.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I don't know.
I love it, dude. I love mistaken racism. It's hilarious because they're like polars. That's racist against the Inuit people. No, it's short for polar bears. Oh. And their logo is a white bear, to be clear. Like, their logo is a white fucking bear. It's not a person. It's not a spear. It's a fucking cartoonish white bear with a red scarf.
I think all the schools around here are just animals.
Let's see. It's Tartan Titans, Stillwater Ponies, Monamiti Zephyrs, White Bear Lake Bears, I think it's the Spring Lake Park. No, Irondale Warriors, Spring Lake Parks, the Centennials. Oh, I can't remember what Woodbury is. Think of all the people in our high school conference.
So in my area that I live now, my city is the Bees.
Right.
A nearby city is the Hornets. Then
Lions.
Another nearby city is the Grizzlies. But for us, it's kind of tied into it's Bees because of Root Candle, and AI Root came into town and had a bunch of bees, created his company, and it's one of the largest companies in the city. So that's kind of where the bees came from. So.
We have too many fucking elementary schools.
Yes, I can agree with that. But then again,
I'm just gonna ignore them and just remember that the few I went to had animal mascots and assume the rest do. But,
yeah, because I know.
Go ahead.
I know the one my niece and nephew go to. Thank you for calling the USGA.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We have a new high school. What the fuck is its mascot? Anyway, the two junior highs is a lion and a cougar, because we have cougars.
Right.
And the high school I went to is a wolf, a goofy ass looking wolf. What is Pioneer? Woodland. That's not how you spell wood.
I just want to know the weekend. Where's the? Where is the conference? That's what I want to see. Let's see if my state has anything really racist. Aiken's got the Gobblers.
Oh, that's gross.
What?
The mascot is the Patriot.
Giggity. Bemidji has the Lumberjack. Okay, wow. First racist. The city of Benson has the Braves. Not so bad. Yeah, we're pretty. They've wiped out pretty much all of the like really racist shit from our high schools. I mean, I'm going alphabetically, but so far, Braves has been the worst thing I've hit on.
Well, I don't know what the fuck any of the Sacramento school names are, nor their mascots. I'm sure they're probably pretty safe, though, as it's the capital.
Right.
And Davis is liberal as fuck, so it's probably safe.
Right.
And everything else around me is farm town, so I'm pretty scared there.
East Grand Forks has the Green Wave.
It's literally wave?
It's literally just a cartoonish green wave. I'm not even joking.
Like a water wave?
Yeah, hang on. I'll link it. I'll link its image. I think I can do this. There you go. That's their team logo.
That is one mean looking wave.
It's because Grand Forks, where they're from, is constantly flooded every year. It's on the Red River, which like literally
So you
floods.
make it your mascot?
Yes, they do. Yes, they fucking do.
So, what is that green thing, Cupcake?
It's the East Grand Forks Green Waves. It's the high school. I'm looking at high school teams.
Okay. So I was saying that my niece and nephew, the elementary school that was literally like 1 to 2 blocks away from their house, is the Wallabies.
That's fun.
So, yeah. So I do remember that. And now in my area, within like a 5 to 10 mile radius, there's elementaries of my house. There's at least three elementary schools and a middle school. And then there's a couple high schools. There's another middle school in the center of town and then the main high school. So, the thing is, where I grew up, my graduating class was like 98. Around 100. So, you only need like one primary school, one middle school, one high school. Not very big.
Okay,
I didn't even know.
Go ahead.
I didn't even know that the Oakland Raiders moved to Las Vegas. That's crazy.
Yeah, they moved to Vegas, baby.
Oh, fun.
Left us behind. Considering I never liked the Raiders. Yay.
Right.
So all I did was put in racist school mascot, and the first one is Pennsylvania still has 66 racist public school mascots.
Nice.
I'm not surprised about Pennsylvania. Let me bring up
Wow.
It's crap. Let me look something up because I'm actually wondering about this. Oh, that's what I thought. Shit. So there's Cuyahoga Heights High School, which was my city's rival. It's a Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, and they're still called the Redskins. I was like, I think they were racist. Let me check. Yes, they are. All right, so go over here. There it is.
Can you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Okay. I don't know what that noise is, but my neighbor is doing something.
I heard
Summoning a
something,
god
but it's...
beyond stars.
Yeah, I heard something, but it's not, like, constant.
I think he's using a shop vac.
Sounds about right. Break time. Yeah.
Sitting on this chair is very awkward.
Yeah. His hashtag, you know you've sat too long when you stand up and your legs are like, thank you. Anyways. Oop.
Boop.
I was like, why does that feel funny? Because I'm putting the headphone in the wrong ear.
Oh.
I was like, what? Okay. Alright, so... There we go. Alright, so... Copy. Let me see if it'll let me paste. What? There we go. So, pasting in my high school's mascot head.
That's cute.
That's fun.
Let me see if I can find...
Let's see if I can find our logo. Our logo's dumb, to be dead honest.
You being a troll?
No, actually I'm not.
I'm just poking at you. Don't worry.
I didn't even realize you were poking at me. I'm sorry.
Poke harder.
I think I'll pass.
Too smart. Mish sees the danger in poking an overly exhausted Cupcake.
I know.
Oh, poor Cupcake.
I'm so excited. We get to go back to work for another 10-day stretch tomorrow.
Oh.
But we'll see. My general manager was threatening not to give me the weekend off. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. And I'm laughing at a meme.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be sharing it, don't worry.
Okay.
And I'm just happy that they included Imhotep, the actor played Imhotep.
Oh, nice. That guy's a great actor. I don't even know his name.
Neither do I, but...
Why am I trying to remember a name I don't know?
You're talking about the guy from The Mummy, right? That played the bad guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is... Hang on. Malik, first man, archaeologist, reporter. Why is he doesn't even appear in the frontline list? That's crazy. Alright, let me go to IMDb. Oh, I cannot say his last name, but Arnold Vosloo? She's from South Africa.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So how do we feel about Joss Whedon?
He's a dick.
Yes.
And threatening Gal Gadot and saying, I'll tank your career. Or is it something else I missed?
No, that's the recent thing that came out that he had during the Justice League stuff.
Can I just state for the record that threatening a woman of her caliber is probably a really bad idea? I don't care how tough you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know much about her, but she seems like the kind of woman that would break his face if she had to.
Well, she's a former soldier, so yes.
If he really pissed her off. But she has the kind of celebrity and star power now.
Summon the spirit of Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, she will summon Carrie Fisher's Force Ghost.
Yeah.
And they will make sure his career fucking tanks.
Well, already kind of fucking tanked, honestly.
Yeah,
he managed to pick off all the wrong people, and then the corporations that employ him went, "You're fucking too dangerous. You're fucking uranium. You're gone. We can't fucking work with you. You're pissing people off. You're bad for business." Because the fucking tables have turned and that kind of fucking behavior is no longer acceptable. Because it pisses off the people who are paying your fucking wages.
Yeah, when they finally brought down Harry Weinstein, or Weinstein, however you say his name.
Oh,
it's like, that's when
Cosby, all of those fuckers, they all got...
Yeah, when the industry said, we're going to tear you down, motherfuckers, that means, if you are a big enough liability that you're going to cost all of us money, here's the door.
Well,
and in some cases, here's your cell door.
It's not that they have any issues with their behavior, it's just that their behavior is bad for business, so they're not going to work with them.
That's what I was saying, is that it's like, oh, your behavior, it's like, oh, you're now bad for business. Here's the door, and in some cases, if it's bad enough, here's your cell door. Enjoy. It's a weenie schnitzel.
What's up, old four-legged garbage disposal? Huh? What's up, my boy? Oh, it's a hard old life for my boy. So neglected, brother. Oh, he's so neglected. Oh, he's just kind of a neglected guy, brother. Oh. Alright. Watch out, turd burglar. Sorry, I had to throw my towels in the dryer. Thing's barking at me.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay.
No, you.
No, you. Uno reverse card.
Both of you.
My ass is falling asleep because I have to sit in this chair weird.
Why do you have to sit in the chair weird?
Because that fucking infected spider bite is on my upper left thigh.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I forgot about the spider bite. I'm sorry. Well, that's what you get for letting a spider bite you in the ass.
I hate you.
Sending much hate with much love.
What makes you feel better? My guts are completely fucked up beyond belief because of all the stress I've been under.
Poor Cupcake. That does not make me feel better.
I'm chronically dehydrated, which has been so much fun. Because I've been basically drinking nothing but caffeine to try to stay conscious, because otherwise all I want to do is sleep. Because, it's not that I'm working a lot, it's that I'm working a lot and the scheduled shifts keep moving around. So it's like some days I'm opening, some days I'm closing, some days I'm closing then opening. And it wouldn't be so bad, but closing is 10 p.m. and opening is 6 a.m. So I get home about 11, go to bed for 4 or 5 hours, get up and go right back to work for 10 hours.
Poor Cupcake.
There is no Cupcake. There is only Zool.
You probably had no time for anime.
I did not. I mostly was playing Lego Lord of the Rings in the hour I wasn't sleeping or working.
Well, tell us about that.
It was fun. It was strange. It's I don't remember, when did Lego Lord of the Rings come out? It's got to be an earlier one because it's a little rough around the edges.
Did it come around near when the movie came out?
It'll be after the last one came out because it has all 3 movies.
Oh, okay.
Looks like 2012. So not the oldest, but you know what I'm saying? Like you play some of the first couple the first sets of Lego games, they're not as polished as the newer ones are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it because I started playing Lego City, which is from a couple years back, and that's way a way more finished game. It may also have been that they were they had to compress the whole world into one little overworld. And I also
Cool.
Sorry.
I was just saying cool.
And I also have the Hobbit one, but I want to watch the movies before I try to play that because otherwise I'm worried that none of it will make any sense to me.
I have never seen the Hobbit movies.
Well, I know what we'll be watching the next time we can all get together.
Which
Well,
is a shame because the Hobbit is the only part of that franchise that I actually like.
I loved the book, The Hobbit. Legitimately loved it. It's why I have a love of fantasy. But without seeing anything, I'm just of the opinion they should have never been 3 movies.
Oh no.
I agree.
Shit ever.
Yeah. And while it is crafted well, why the fuck do you need a love triangle?
What? Who has a love triangle?
Do you want a spoiler or not?
I don't know. Probably not. No.
Okay.
Did they insert a love triangle that didn't exist? Because I don't remember there being a love triangle.
They inserted a love triangle between one of the dwarves and 2 characters that technically could have existed and did probably exist. One of the characters did exist.
Did he fucking insert Legolas into the fucking movie?
Yes, he did.
Why? Why did he insert Legolas into the movie? Which means the other character is probably something from the Similaron that never existed in The Hobbit. She said 2 of them were inserted.
Yes, the 2 that were inserted were the elves.
Of course. Because
Evangeline Lilly's character.
Good enough as it was with 12 fucking dwarfs, a hobbit, and a fucking white wizard. They had to have a fucking love triangle, which means it must happen sometime during Mirkwood, because that's the only time they come in fucking contact with the elves is in Mirkwood.
They picked them up in Mirkwood, yes.
Yeah.
And it continues throughout the rest of the 3 movies.
But
2 movies.
They follow them through the rest of the movies?
Yeah.
Wow! So he really went off the fucking rails with that story, because maybe I'm crazy, but I don't remember there being any fucking elves in the party when they get to Misty Mountain.
No, they don't become part of the party.
Oh, it's going on in the background.
Yes, they're trailing the party.
I thought you meant they joined the fucking party. I'm like, there were no fucking elves in the fucking party when they got to fucking Misty Mountain.
No, though. But they are a part, and the ending for 3 of the dwarves, they still have the same technical like ending, like their ending is the same, but how they did it is different.
Right. Are those
I was like,
the
no,
are those the
this is-
dwarves that they find in the mines of Moria?
Yeah.
That's what I figured, because he's making the tying and making the nod from Lord of the Rings that 3 of the dwarves end up in Moria.
Hold on.
But why? God, why?
'Cause movies.
Fucking love of money, I guess.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Cupcake's on the phone.
Yeah, his grandparents called.
Okay, yeah, my tea kettle went off, so I had to go run and pour my coffee. Oh, wait a minute. Be right back.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I called him this morning to see about taking my grandpa to the bank and never got a response, and so I was like, okay, well, I'd already planned on this, and I never got a response. They're like, our phone's been on the fritz all day. I'm like, well, I can come over when I'm done with what I'm working on. And they're like, my grandpa's like, never mind, just never mind. I'm like, I'm sorry, Grandpa. Like, I'll come take you to the bank after we get done. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's whatever. I'm like, let me finish what I'm doing, make my mom the dinner I said I would make her, and then I'll be over. He's like, okay, fine. I'm like, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm not inconvenienced. I'm just in the middle of something right now.
All right. But yeah, I've read The Hobbit through The Return of the King like 2 to 4 times.
Yeah, more than is healthy for any single person.
Yeah. And I've also read The Silmarillion. So there's that. But yeah, I was sitting there going like, okay, I'm not surprised that you kind of changed the one ending for some of the dwarves. Like, I mean, from the ones from the Mines of Moria that the Fellowship finds, those guys still follow their fate. They still go back to Moria, etc. But 3 of the other ones, it's like, yeah, you technically still die, but yeah, for me it was like, okay, kind of how, like, I kind of agreed with the whole thing of like the saying on online where it was like, true fans, like the whole true fans thing, the fans of Narnia booed and threw popcorn at the screen when Susan kissed Caspian.
Right.
But it was like,
Susan kissed Caspian?
In the movie. Because I
didn't see that one, so...
I didn't watch anything past The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I was like, I don't think I want any part of this.
So, as is very common, when some characters are a certain young age, so Caspian in the book is like, he's between like 12 and 14.
I remember.
So I know you remember because you've read it and you're a bookworm like me. But for everyone who's listening, and who may not remember or haven't read it, so he's like, preteen, early teenager, what have you. And as you may have seen in posters and trailers, he's like 17. Almost kind of like in the Dune miniseries, same thing. They age them up to like 16, 17 years old, close to being of legal age to be like the next king. So they kind of inserted a little bit of, crush, you're so cute, into the movie. So
that's also because there's less restrictions when you're working with older actors. Like,
well, yeah.
They couldn't have done that if they had an actual like 12-year-old playing Caspian, but they aged him up.
Well, so I mean, don't ever say never. This is Hollywood we're talking about.
Oh, exactly.
Just be glad it wasn't Japan.
fuck, yes. Yes, I am glad it wasn't Tran. Because they might have done it anyways.
As one of the few people with a legal copy of Dance in the Vampire Bun, you have no idea the legal bullshit I went through to get it into this country.
But yeah, so they did add a little bit of it. Like I said, they did a good job of creating that story. And they did do a good, like, Thranduil it has a bigger role in it as well than in the book. Because in the book, you just see Thranduil for the...
You can see why I would have trouble with getting this into the country.
Oh, yes.
I paid a lot of money to legally own this because this is right on the line of being illegal. And no, it's not pornography. It is not pornography. But it has a girl who was turned into a vampire when she was 12 years old, being sexually explicit with the main character. And that shit ain't kosher in this country.
Because
Very much
has a lot of those. Well, she's actually this many years old, just in this kind of body.
It's the same concept as Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name. God, she was a kid when they did that.
I've read the books, so I know.
I'm thinking about the movie. That was I could see her face. I can't think of her name.
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, Kirsten Dunst, like 13 years old, playing the girl was turned into a vampire like in the 1800s and like the mid 90s. Yeah. But it turns out when they turn you into a vampire, you stop aging. Whoops.
Well, I know in the book, she kind of at certain times wrestles with it because she's like, I'm forever a child. You should have just let me die. Why didn't you let me die? Like, I'm forever a fucking 12-year-old. So.
Quite a few vampire stories have a child vampire in them.
Yeah.
For that reason. We don't, even though there are rules for playing them, we don't tend to let people play child vampires because they're distinctly fucked up.
Yeah.
We save those for NPCs.
Something like that. I was kind of thinking. So one of the other, I'm going to leave out, for Twilight, I'm going to leave out the major issues that a lot of people have with that. Besides the fact I did read those books, and I found the fourth one to be my favorite. Anyways.
I read the first book. I did not like it, so I did not read the other books.
Okay. So, as you may or may not have seen, based on the movies, I don't know if you've seen them or if you've seen enough trailers or clips.
I saw the first movie. I did not like it. I did not see the others.
Okay. So, and one of the major issues, again, in vampire lore in this series is the child vampires. That there's if they find that you created a child vampire because you want a child, because you can't have children when you're a vampire because your body needs to go through a change to have a child.
Right.
And your body can't change now that you're a vampire. You're basically killed and you're ripped apart. So, my thing was, I'm like, technically, I understand. Thank you for.
And she's gone.
Okay. What was the name of the other anime I started watching?
I don't know. I've been watching Why Are You So Clumsy, Miss Ueno? I haven't gotten very far. I'm only like halfway through it, but I have been watching that like in my little bit of off time. It's pretty cute.
Hang on, let me open my anime
Yeah.
app on my tablet.
You don't even want to know what my pile of stuff to show you looks like right now.
Favorites? No.
You know, new things I bought.
What was I watching? What are you... That's an ad.
I was like, what the hell was that? God, I gotta stop coughing on my screens. Jesus Christ, there's so much bright spittle on my monitors. Oh, I should look for that. Do I have a recipe for that?
Tonkiwa Over the Moon for you?
Oh, that sounds familiar. I don't know why.
Well, I've seen 4 episodes. It's a good thing this keeps track, because I would never remember.
Right.
And it is adorable.
Oh, that's good.
To be spoilerific, girl saves guy in car crash. Guy goes, I love you at first sight of girl.
Okay.
And she's like, cool. We can date if you will marry me.
Okay. If you marry somebody, haven't you already kind of skipped the whole dating thing?
He agrees on without thinking about it, then doesn't see her for a few years until he turns 18. Suddenly she shows up on his doorstep with a marriage license.
Giggity.
And they get married. And it's about their awkward marriage life.
Right. Oh my god, I've seen this. Like the two of them like living together and like kind of like learning about each other because like they just kind of go together.
Yeah.
When he turns 18.
It's cute.
Right.
It has a little bit of the cliche foils, but it's
pretty wholesome from what I've seen.
Yeah. The main character is a good guy, you know, in a real sense, not in a
right.
traditional anime sense.
Right.
So I would recommend it.
You recommend many things. Let's be dead honest.
There's a lot of good anime out there. There's a lot of shit out there, though.
I am the king of shit anime! Watch this dumb crap that will rot your mind and break your soul! I am Cupcake, Lord of Pain and Prince of Destruction!
There's only 12 episodes.
It's short.
Yeah.
I now own 2 seasons of Black Clover on. Side note.
Okay. Have you watched any of it?
No, my coworker's like, I really wish you had a copy of that. I'm like, let me look into it. 3 days later, I'm like, okay, I've got the first season on order. He's like, what the hell? Cupcake? I'm like, I'm working on season 2. He's like, aren't there 3 seasons? I'm like, that's coming later. Give me a minute.
So to kind of finish my thought.
No.
With Twilight. You know, you kind of understand, like, okay, fine. You know, the woman's body has to change enough to, you know, accommodate a child growing. And what happens to Bella, you can kind of, you know, shows that, like, hey, the supernatural baby is growing in a human body, and it's not necessarily a good thing for the human woman carrying a supernatural baby to term. But if a woman vampire or one who is a woman in the cisgender sense can't have a baby because her body is technically dead and it can't change, how in the hell is Edward's sperm alive enough to get Bella pregnant when she's a human?
Wizard did it. To quote classic Simpsons, if you have any questions about how it happened, a wizard did it.
Dude, Mish, if I can be alive, Bella can have a vampire baby.
Okay.
Because I am the product of 3 fucking failed vasectomies.
Okay, miracle of miracles. Okay.
My parents tried every artificial insemination, whatever you want to call it, like, try to have a kid they could, failed miserably, gave up, said, fuck it, I guess we ain't gonna have kids, and then I was bored.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, that happens. And then people who say, well, if you just relax and stop trying, and I'm sitting there looking at them going, I need to ovulate first. I don't ovulate regularly. So even if I'm totally relaxed and on a 2-month vacation and not worrying about money for the vacation or bills, and I'm like getting massages every day.
Some people
I'm still
just
not
aren't
gonna
built
get
to have kids. It happens. It's not.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. You guys have fun with.
I think there's a negative correlation between intelligence and fertility. I can't prove that, but I have this sinking sensation. Actually, they're now saying that humans are becoming less and less fertile on average.
Yeah.
Due to
That's what I've
diet
heard
and
too.
environmental influences, that like we're creating our own end to the J curve. Like the explosive growth is going away everywhere, not just in rich countries.
Microplastics.
And they're like, pretty soon the population's going to crash.
Well, and that kind of makes the movie Children of Men a little bit more.
Oh no, it's terrifying, Mish, because they're saying like if it doesn't like fix itself or we don't fix it, like we literally could cause ourselves to go extinct in like 3 or 4 generations.
Yeah.
I mean, none of us will be alive when it happens, but
Well,
no, I don't think any of us will be alive. I mean, you could wish as hard as you want, Kiki, but we won't be alive when it happens. We're talking.
well, no,
multiple
I didn't mean to imply we would be.
Like, the rest of you poor schmucks will be in the ground, but I'll be in a robot body, so you guys have fun with that.
But yeah, that's.
I mean, to change the note entirely. Anyway, no. So what have you been reading, Mish?
Currently, along with the Dune Discord server I am in, I am reading. Because of the Dune movie that was supposed to come out last year. But of course, it got pushed back, as everything so often did. So we started as a group rereading the main series. So we've already gone through Dune, Dune Messiah, and Children of Dune, and we just started reading. And on Sunday had our first Sunday night chat on the first set of chapters from God Emperor of Dune. So that's one of the things I'm reading. It's by Frank Herbert, and his son has taken over, and there's a lot of people who don't really like how Brian Herbert has kind of taken the direction he's taken it in. But I'm just thinking they're going he's trying to fill in the blanks a little bit of maybe some holes, quote unquote holes that his father left. So there are some things where it's well, that doesn't necessarily fill that plot hole that great. It makes its own questions, but for me, I just take it at face value from Brian Herbert's perspective, and I just like those books as well. But God Emperor of Dune continues the golden path of Leto II. So in kind of a brief overview in Dune, it's thousands of years in the future. It starts off in the year 10,191, and way in the future. And it's explained that there's this. It's called spice or melange, and it's kind of like a geriatric type of drug that is only found on one planet, and it's a desert planet. It's Arrakis or Dune, and it's tied in with the sandworms. So they're segmented, giant, literal worms that are adapted to that planet and the sand and everything. And because of that, it's very precious, etc., etc., etc. So the Harkonnens are one, led by Baron Harkonnen, is one noble house, and they're enemies with House Atreides, where Paul comes from, and Leto. So the Emperor doesn't like Duke Leto because he's becoming more popular than him. So he connives with Baron Harkonnen to give Arrakis, the fiefdom of Arrakis, to Duke Atreides, and then bring him down. They think they've killed Paul and his mother. They haven't. And then he meets up with the Fremen, which, if you go back far enough, came from people who called themselves free men, who were slaves, who say, we are free men now. And it kind of got bastardized into Fremen. And those people, like the genetics and stuff, if they cut their skin, it's very slow. Like, like if we cut our arm, like if you or I cut our arms, it would like bleed freely. Well, for them, it would be like very slow because their water content in their blood is very low because they live on a desert planet. Now, Paul fits some of the Messiah legends that the Bene Gesserit, who have a breeding program, and they also plant religions, they kind of planted that there. And so, one second. Okay. And so he kind of fits that, and because of training he got from his Bene Gesserit mother, Jessica, and he also got training as a Mentat, who the Mentats are like the human computers, or like human mind, like the computer and the human brain. And the reason that is because of the Butlerian Jihad that went against the thinking machines. So everyone hates artificial intelligence and machines. Like even a computer, they're like, fuck that shit, no. So that's why they came up with the Mentats, in a specific way of thinking. So because of all that, and then the spice, and because of his breeding, he becomes this super being that the Bene Gesserit are trying to accomplish with their breeding program. And through a series of events, he becomes the emperor of the known universe and dislodges the current emperor, marries his daughter to kind of legitimize himself, and then his jihad kind of goes into the next book, Dune Messiah. And then Children of Dune is his children. And then Leto and Ghanima know that they have to shake up humanity, which is where this golden path comes into play. So Leto goes through a series of transformations stuff. He gets sand trout, which is like the baby sandworms, and they become attached to his skin. And so he starts becoming a sandworm. So by the start of God Emperor of Dune, 3,000 years later, he's still alive. So 3,000 years later, Leto is still alive, but he has, like, most of his body has become worm-like. He still has his face, and he still has his arms, but his legs have become, like, flipper-like-ish. So, basically, the Golden Path is, like, he oppresses them, and because of who he was when he was born, what Herbert calls preborn. So the spice, if you take enough of it, will awaken you to consciousness before you are born. So you're kind of like, oh, I'm alive and I'm conscious and I'm in the womb. So because of that, he has like access to all of his ancestral memories. So he can go back to his grandmother, Jessica, his father, his mother, his sister,
and back thousands of years to like the Butlerian Jihad, things like that. So technically, he has enough like prescience that he could see the future in his death, but he chooses not to. So he's like, because of this tyranny or oppression, when he dies, there's an expansion. So like humanity wakes up again instead of stagnating. So that's kind of what the Golden Path is. So I think there's like 9 books or 10. So that's what we're reading that way. With that. And then I'm also kind of rereading another sci-fi book series that's like 15 books long near the end. But that's that. So I'll just pause for a moment, give myself a break from talking. Because that's a lot of like verbal puke.
Well, I just finished a beautiful
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
No.
God damn it, Kiki, you only speak 2 languages. Bad English and worse.
Shut up.
No.
A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor, which is by Hank Green. It's the sequel to a absolutely remarkable thing. If you like sci-fi, aliens, and commentary on social networks and humanity, I would recommend it.
Okay.
And I just started, what the fuck is it called? Reading now. Gideon the Ninth? Lesbian necromancers explore a haunted gothic palace in space. Is how
Very
it was
nice.
sold to me.
Well, okay then.
So I'm like, yes, please.
Very nice. But the sci-fi series that I'm reading now,
Yeah.
I got my Kindle. It's by Richard Wyand, and there's also another lady who helps him out, Stephanie Osborne, I think. So it's Empire, and then there's a word after it. So let me go down to where I can see the entire series. So the first one is Empire Reformer, then Usurper, then Tyrant, then Commander, Empire Warlord, etc., etc., etc. So it starts off with the Empress of Centaur. You know, so the Centaur Empire, it's not hereditary. So they Empress or Emperor in later books will choose their most able successor and then kind of do an internship and then leave it to them. So she ascends the throne and they want to reform the bureaucracy to help the people. And then, so the next few books are about that. And then, you know, kind of like the fallout from the first books with other star systems, things like that. The current book I'm reading now is the second book. So there's the period of the 4 good emperors. There's Trajan, Trajan 2, and then the 2 after that. Where, well, for 250 years or so, there's a decline. And the emperor in the first book, he's like, I want to fix it, but I'm like 90 years old. How am I going to fix it? And then he finds a historian who wrote a book about the 4 good emperors and what happened. And then that's kind of kicks off, let's fix it. And then I'm in the second book of that. And it kind of ties back to the first emperor of the Galactic Empire, Trajan. He had killed a bunch of people who tried to kill him. Like, there's a plot to kill him and his entire family and everything like that. So he basically says, fuck that shit, no. And so all of those descendants of those people who were killed, and then some of the descendants of the original kingdoms of the other star systems have been like whittling away at the empire. So they're trying to stop them from doing that in the latest books. Kind of get things back on track.
Okay.
So that's currently what I'm rereading. And then there's a new book by the same author that's coming out in 2 days. Where it kind of goes back to, like, still, like, far enough in the future from, like, where we are now. But not, they haven't reached space yet. Like, there's no space travel yet. And they're saying, like, there's two guys who are like, there's only one planet of humanity. We're always on a knife's edge. As we see with COVID, it only takes one really honky disease to kill us all. So we want to, start, populating other planets. So kind of that whole storyline of, and then there's a artificial intelligence that reaches sentience. So yeah.
Well, alright. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Not sure how I found it, but I found it.
Trying not to cough into the microphone.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, I guess.
Right. Also trying to line up an appointment for vaccinations. I think I'm literally the last person who hasn't been vaccinated yet.
You can do it. I believe.
See, the whole problem is, like, I can get one lined up, but it's like a 1.5 to 2 hour drive one way, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll wait till I can get one closer to home.
Yeah, I was like, the ones by me were filling up so fast that I'm like, I would literally have to go in every single day, several times a day, to see if there was one. Like, because with work, they like you to like give a week's notice if you want time off. So I'm like, well, Friday. But then, like, for example, last week when I got it, it was like Monday, and I was like, oh, look, it's open, but for tomorrow, and I don't have time off tomorrow. Right. So I was like, eventually I was like, well, they have it here in Boardman. It's over an hour, but might as well go get it. So get my second one on April 30th.
Oh, is that why you were driving all the way up to Timbuktu?
Yep, that's why I was driving out to Timbuktu.
Okay, like, you made it sound like it was some big secret. I'm like, why are you driving all the way to this faraway place? You're like, reasons? I'm like, okay, fine. Jesus Christ. All you had to say was you're getting vaccinated.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
I thought it was like some serious personal issue. Not like you had to do like everyone else and drive like 2 hours to get a vaccination.
Sorry, I didn't realize that, you know me, sometimes things like that kind of whoosh over my head because sometimes I'm thicker than two planks. So I didn't realize that's what
you're like, I have this big long drive ahead of me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the hell is all the way out there? Oh, this town. I'm like, okay. You're like, well, that's what's out there. I'm like, okay, fine. It's a secret. Whatever. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sorry.
It's the kind of thing. It's like, why are you driving 3 hours one way? Reasons. Okay, it's a secret.
Well, I thought that I had already said it's because of COVID, and then I was like, why is that right? It was just like,
keep in mind that I was doing the thing where I was working like noon to close, so noon to 10, then coming back and opening. So like a lot of times when I'm reading this shit, I'm going, what's going on? Ha! What? What's going on around here? Am I on crazy pills? Oh, Jesus fuck, she has the infection. I'm sorry, Kiki, we gotta put you out of your misery. You've been infected with a cancer that can't be cut out.
It has 11 different modes for some fucking reason.
That shit just makes me irrationally angry.
Mouse does it too.
Oh my god.
Oh god, I accidentally moved us. There we are. It came with the computer. It's a big clacky keyboard, so I like it.
Kiss my big black keyboard's ass.
The case has like a shit ton of different modes too.
Oh my god.
Okay, so Cupcake, you'll be happy. I finally got a new computer. Yay!
Well,
I got a new computer.
Finally.
I got one that works. Works.
For now.
For now. If 2 days from now this fucker does not work, I am cursed.
Go.
Why am I so popular today? That one's going to the messaging machine.
And we also supported a local business in the same time. So we got a Dell Optiplex 750 desktop, Intel Core i5 7500, 65GB RAM, 256GB SSD plus 1TB HDD.
Wait, stop. Did you say 64 gigabytes of RAM?
No, 16.
Oh, okay. I was like, holy shit, I only have 32 and I think I might have the most of anybody I've ever met.
No, it's just 16, and then 3.40 gigahertz quad core.
Right.
Got a second monitor because I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I need 2 monitors for work.
Don't even talk to me about multiple monitors, woman. I can't live without 3.
That's you, Cupcake. You're special.
You know, everybody said I was crazy. Like, why do you have 3 monitors? I'm like, why do you not have 3 monitors? And everybody who sees my setup is just like, Jesus Christ, what a nerd.
I currently have 1 because I need an adapter for my second monitor.
Oh no. Is it like hard to find or something?
No, it just shows up today.
Oh, it's coming. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm currently using my tablet as my second monitor because I'm recording on this.
Oh god, that's so annoying. I had that problem because oh no, I think these are all running direct. But it was really weird because like this card, I have a 1070 and this card's old enough now that like half of the ports are no longer used on modern monitors. So I have like 2 HDMIs, 2 DVIs, and like a display port. And the new cards are all just nothing but display ports.
This has 1 HDMI and all the rest are just display
ports. Yeah, because that's been standard for like the last 2-3 years. Which, it wasn't a big deal because these two, like the center monitor's on a display port, but it was so hard to find 4K ready cables when I bought these monitors. Like now every one of the, like, the cables at work are 4K ready, but like when I bought these monitors last spring, like there were no 4K ready, like 4K certified, like HDMI cables, and it was so fucking hard. Oh my god. And DisplayPort was hard then too. Like when I bought the first big monitor, it was like, oh yeah, there's no 4K certified anything, and I had to pay like $50 for a super heavy duty industrial cable to fucking run 4K. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. We also got an adapter from the folks. What the fuck? Sorry, I'm just kind of broad. Sorry, I'm kind of like looking at something on my screen going, what the fuck? But we also got the adapter from the same place. They do a lot of work with my hubby's work, so they already know him.
Right.
So hubby already knew, like, they do a good job. And so this helps us help a local business stay local and stay open and stuff like that. Broadsword,
Other than Best Buy, which is not a local business, we no longer have, like, a local business because they all died when COVID hit.
That's something that happened here. There were, like, 2 or 3, like, computer shops in the area, like, one in town. They all went under as soon as COVID hit.
So we had to buy from Newegg.
Ew, Newegg.
Well, there's no longer Fry's. They all died.
Right. We're basically down to Newegg, direct from vendor, or Amazon.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Micro Center, but the nearest Micro Center is like a 45-minute drive one way, and I'm way too lazy for that. It's actually shocking. I've been buying most of my parts direct from vendor lately. Like, my monitors all came direct from Samsung. Like, I didn't even go to a store. I just ordered them direct from the company.
Yes.
I mean, it would have been nice if there was a local place we could have gone to, but...
Yeah, they just don't exist. They don't exist.
Yeah.
The closest thing we have is there's a cell phone repair place around here.
Right.
But yeah, that's not something that is
Like-
necessarily going to have a computer that you need.
No.
Well, like, Best Buy doesn't even, like, deal in, like, computer shit anymore, really. Like, beyond the real, like, basic stuff, it's terrible.
The best they could do is we can buy a Wi-Fi dongle there.
Like, because I went in looking for a cable. They're like, yeah, we don't do that anymore. I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't do that anymore? Like, they've removed all of their computer parts. Like, they just don't deal in it. Like, I'm legitimately, like, they don't do that. I saw, like, as of this spring, like, they have no physical media, period. They have a little cart, you know, like one of those rolling promo cards. That's it. Like, they're all online. I'm like, well, there's no reason for me to buy from you then. I might as well just buy from Right Stuff and be done with it. Or Amazon for American shit.
Yeah.
Like, your prices aren't any better than Amazon's, and I already have a Prime account, so unfortunately they're going to get my money because I'm already paying for Prime, so just buy it from them and get free shipping.
Yep.
And, like, honestly, if Right Stuff had a higher tier where you just didn't have to pay for shipping, but I had to pay, let's say, $50 a year, I would do it, just so I didn't have to pay shipping anytime I wanted to pre-order something.
Yeah.
Like, that's been my problem. Like, it's hard for me to do pre-orders on limited edition stuff because they raise the threshold to $75 and no, like, one item costs more than $75 except for, like, the really high-end limited editions. So anytime I pre-order, it's like, oh yeah, the pre-order is $50 plus $10 shipping and handling. So, like, the next couple of pre-order, I wanted to pre-order a couple things because, like, Fruits Basket Fruits Basket Season 2, Part 2 was sold out. The whole run was fucking sold out before the street date hit. It didn't even make it to market. They sold their entire run. And I had to pre-order it from Amazon because Right Stuff's entire order was sold out before it even got in stock. And it pissed me off so much that now I've started pre-ordering shit that I don't want to miss out on ahead of time and paying full price because I just don't want that to happen. I bring this up because I had to pre-order a couple Sentai things that I wanted. And do you want to know how I've been getting over the $75 free shipping hump?
How?
I've been putting a volume of Sailor Moon Eternal Edition in each order to push me over the top. Because I wanted to collect it, but it's like, so that $20 pushes me over the hump so I get free shipping. Because fuck spending $10 shipping and handling when I can spend $20 and get another item anyway. I am a consumer whore, and how?
But you're our favorite consumer whore.
Yep.
You should see the pile of boxes next to my desk. It is disgusting.
Oh, do you have anything to open?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The pile is 3 feet tall right now. And yes, we did open everything from the last time we recorded. All Cupcake does is work and sleep. So when he's conscious, he buys shit. Why? No good reason. He can't help it. It's a disease. And the only solution, the only cure, is to put a fucking bullet in his head or cancel his credit cards.
I'd rather have that disease than the disease of pedophilia. But anyways, um, I'm that way with books. I'm just like, if there's books that I know that I will get, I just at this point I'm just like, let me just fucking pre-order this shit on my Kindle.
My problem with books is that like if I started collecting books the way I collected anime, I'd have a library. I mean, if you collected books the way I collected anime, you'd have a library too, and it would be fucking amazing. Oh, yes. Well, on our fucking community compound, there'd be a fucking library that was basically stocked by all of us buying shit. Sorry. I just have this image of this giant, like, library, and it's all this music and movies and books, and it's all just shit that we've bought. I suppose I should open things before I forget.
Do you want to wait for Mish, or?
That's probably a good idea. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, you can get it together.
Yeah. But I have been watching. I watched half of Why Are You So Clumsy, Miss Ueno?
Yeah.
Which is here somewhere. I think. Yep. I think I opened this the last time. This is very, very cute. Like, it is adorable. She's the president of the science club at her high school, and the boy like is her love interest, and like he comes to visit her, and she has all these wacky inventions. And they always go terribly wrong in like some really stupid, lewd way.
All right, you were telling me about the black hole generator, so she could do
panty shots.
Yeah, so people couldn't see her underwear.
Right. It's like episode 2. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, oh my god, it's so stupid. And it's like the most bare bones release I've ever seen. It's just literally the cover page and the disc, which is in my drive right now. And that's it. That's all that was in here.
Okay, I'm back. I see Cupcake disappeared.
He's grabbing his boxes.
I'm grabbing the boxes.
Okay, so
you go there.
I saw the the nerd challenge thingy or whatever. It's like, screw that, like, whatever. And it was like they showed this beautiful. I'm like, oh my god, there's the shelves of books and they're color coded.
Color coded? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did this?
I hate any kind of coding that is not author book series.
Right.
Yeah.
I know it looks pretty when it's color coded and everything. I'm gonna fuck that up the second I start reading.
Yeah.
I'm all about either alphabetical or like by series.
Yeah.
Like my Ghibli whatever films things are not in alphabetical order, they're all together under G. Because it was just easier to do it that way than to have them spread out through the shelves.
Oh yeah, I definitely understand. So like if you look at, I can't show right now because I'm technically still at work.
Right.
But my shelving, there's 3 shelves. The left one, at the top, there's the top 2 are my Mercedes Lackey's books, and they're mostly by series. So like here's her Valimar series, here's her Magician series, here's her this series. And then below that is Tamora Pierce. Same thing. Below that, because there's so many books for John Flanagan, 1 second.
Okay.
Just want to make sure I wasn't getting a call right away after I coded that call. And so John Flanagan has his series of like Ranger's Apprentice things. So there's so many books for that, they take up an entire shelf. Or most of an entire shelf. And then the other 2, the one on the far right, the top one is for cookbooks and then various other books that are random or for hubby. The middle is still sorted by series, but it's, again, like Kiki, it's by series. So here's Kushil's start series, here's this series, here's that series, etc. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it looks pretty, but yeah, I would probably be like, oh, I know where this series is, so that if I want to read the series, I can go and grab it here.
Books that are used as decorations are saddening.
Yes, I'm like, I could not rip up book pages and make a decoration. I just couldn't. I just can't.
Right.
Just no.
No.
It's like you're ripping out my heart and soul. Just stop
I don't
it.
even care if it's a book I don't like. That doesn't matter. It's a book. It's meant to be read.
Yeah. Although now my brain is like, Kushil series.
Even coffee table books, they're still meant to be read.
Right.
This is Julia.
I hate people who use books for decoration. That just drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it makes the shelf look nice. Then fill the fucking knickknacks. Like, why are you buying? Like, it seems so pretentious to me when people like have a shelf full of books that they have no intention to read just to make it look nice. Oh, it makes you look like you're well read.
Then be well read.
Then go read a fucking book.
Because you know what? I'm going to ask you about the book if I see it.
Right. Well, that's because you're well read. I realize that most of us aren't like actually reading like academic text anymore. Like I mostly get mine just from, plumbing the depths of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's the same thing at this point. Because like, why would I be reading like an academic journal when most of the shit's on the internet anyway on a news site? Not a news site, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I could look at like scientific news sites and get the information, or God forbid, Reddit is an aggregator. Everybody's like, Reddit isn't a good source. I'm like, the right subreddit, it's okay. I mean, I probably wouldn't take my news from the Donald, but
yeah.
But yeah, I just.
I mean, it's not the end of the world if you took 2 of your books that you're not currently using right now to put them on a side table because it looks pretty. But that shouldn't be the whole purpose of those books.
right. Using a book you've already read for decoration, I'm not making any like arguments against it. People like are filling a bookcase with books they're never going to read because that makes it look nice.
Well, for me, the biggest thing is actually ripping pages out of a book to make like a book page wreath. Shudder.
Oh, yeah.
That's my issue. Like, if you want to put books on your coffee table, fine. If you want to put them in a bookshelf, fine. And never read them, fine. If you want to look smart, fine. I'm not going to judge.
I'm going to judge. But I'm a judgy person. But, yeah, I get where you're coming from, where when they rip up books, especially books in good condition,
Right.
to make stuff.
I mean, clearly.
But anyway, boxes.
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 Show us your stuff. Show us your stuff.
I think I showed you guys this earlier, but I got. So I finally got Whispers of the Heart.
Yay!
The Cat Returns.
Yay!
like a really cool, like rose gold color. And then because no one let me know, like there was no like solicitations, Earwig and the Witch got a steelbook.
Before cool. Porco Rosso.
Yeah, before. Porco Rosso's not even on the deck. The next ones in June are The Wind Also Rises and The Secret Life of Arietti. Which I think basically leaves Tales of Earthsea and Porco Rosso off the top of my head.
Oh,
that sounds about right from what you have.
I mean, there are other Ghibli films, to be clear, but like they're running out of mainline Hayao Miyazaki Ghibli films. Like,
yeah,
it's. I mean, like, what are the other ones? Like, My Neighbors the Yamadas. I forget what other movies they haven't adapted. But if they wait to do Porco Rosso until the end, I'm gonna like lose my mind because they're running out. They're running out of like quote unquote mainline Ghibli films. Like I know I'm supposed to have like a good sense of humor about this, but like the fact that they're doing like The Wind Also Rises and The Secret Life of Arietti before Porco Rosso is like blowing my mind a little bit. Because now they're up to the point where they're doing like the newer films. They've already done all the old films.
Yeah. Although the one depiction in The Wind Also Rises of the one person who stumbles into their village from either Nagasaki or Hiroshima, whichever's closest to their village. That person who was there, sad, terrifying, because they're just black. It's a black humanoid figure walking into this village. I'm like, shit. I'm not saying that shouldn't be shown, but it's just like, wow, because that technically is what would happen based on the one picture that they show of the
somebody who wasn't close enough to be instantaneously killed by the blast.
Yeah, they weren't instantaneously like vaporized, but they're still alive, but they're close enough because there's that one picture of a person who was close enough to be like killed right away, and it was so bright that it burned their shadow into the concrete.
Well, not that it burned their shadow; it's that they were their carbon was blasted into the concrete.
Well, yeah, that too. But it's just like they were close enough to be caught by the light and the heat.
Yeah, they were vaporized by the
they were
heat.
far enough away that they weren't vaporized, and then they're just walking to town, and then they sit down against a building, and I was like, holy.
Yeah, it was nuts to say the least. Small box, I've got My Hero Academia Season 4 Part 1. Which most people are like, blah, but I really enjoy this. I love Deku. And
I keep meaning to start it, and then I forget and watch something else.
Right. Well, it's so long at this point. Like, if I hadn't been watching it all along, it'd be really hard to start it 4 seasons in. So they're working at, like, I think Season 5 is currently airing. Black Clover Season 1 Part 4. This one was out of stock when I ordered everything. It just finally showed up. So that was cool. I had a knife here somewhere, but I don't know where the hell it went.
I stole it.
Well, I mean, of course. I think it's actually over there.
Through her magical Kiki powers.
I actually can see. That was almost bad. I didn't think I leaned far enough. Holy shit. Alright, that time I got it. Okay, where did the... Oh, shit. I thought that would have fallen in, like tilted this way. Where did my... Oh, there it is. I did sit on it. I was like, I thought it turned and tipped sideways. So, like, the hell did my mouse go? I still enjoy this show. They've got the nutritional facts for the boxes, and that's the actual nutritional facts for the box. If you were to eat the box.
Okay.
The vendor thought it was funny. I was like, whatever. Oh, it's this one. Excelente. Is it wrong to pick up Girls in the Dungeon Part 2? Premium edition. Because I am a consumer whore. And how? I've been waiting for that to come in. Domestic Girlfriend? Because this was going out of print.
Domestic Girlfriend?
I think that's what it's called, isn't it? Hang on.
What is that about?
I have no idea, but it's rated TVMA.
Ooh.
Well, based on the picture on the front, yes. Ooh la la.
This is what makes me laugh. It's mostly just in extras.
Oh.
Like, the actual box is not, like, it's just the regular volume in a chipboard box.
What kind of extras? Okay.
Okay. What is... I don't remember ordering this, but okay. This is English? This is in English. Elf, A Tale of Memories and Melodies.
Okay.
I like the, like, box art.
Look, they're all wearing different socks for everyone's different fetish.
Dude, you're right. It's the one's got over the knees, one's ankle, and the other one's like, what that? I guess I don't know. It'd be like below the knees.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a thing. They have girls wear different levels of socks too.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes like Kaoru Suzumiya normally wears like shorter socks, but like in the winter she wears long socks because it's cold.
Yeah.
Two seasons of unforgettable stories, four tales of intertwining fates. A tale of memories, a tale of melodies. So that's a thing. And then I got Vampire Hunter D. Why? Because Vampire Hunter D.
Which one?
I honestly can't tell. What?
Just...
I'm confused. What are we laughing about?
about the confusion of which one it is.
Well, I have them all, but I don't know. As the Blood Moon rises, the legendary classic returns. For 10,000 years, the vampire count Magnus Lee has stalked the night, sustained by a thirst for blood and human women. Unfortunately for the count, the women he has chosen on their conquest aren't ready to surrender to his inhuman lust. And as the daughter of a werewolf hunter, Doris Lang knows how to save herself by enlisting the aid of the mysterious vampire hunter known as D. However, while D might be able to defeat the Count and his army of undead, its protection comes with a blood price of its own. It is a cost that Doris will be willing to pay. Featuring the art of acclaimed designer Yoshitaka Amano and remastered in high definition, the epic animated fantasy that launched the anime revolution is back to never seen before, Vampire Hunter D. So I think this is the original movie.
Yeah.
And I think the sequel is called Bloodlust. I think it's Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. I only had this on DVD, so I really wanted some version of Vampire Hunter on Blu-ray. And that just kind of solidified. Real girl. She's a real girl. You can tell because she's got pink hair.
I'd call that more strawberry blonde, but okay.
Well, whatever. Yeah, I guess that is strawberry blonde. The baddest bad girl and the school's nerdiest boy. What could possibly happen in 6 months? Unpopular boy meets super hardcore girl. It's my girlfriend is a gal, or what's the other one that did this? Where it's the tough girl that nobody wants to be near, and the nerdy guy. It's power fantasy, basically.
Yeah, but those are nice sometimes.
Well, this is a fun one, in that it's like, you know, cool girl likes weirdo. Oh, this one! Holy shit! I didn't even know I had ordered this. I actually wanted to see this. This one out. This is the big one. Review Starlight. This is
the what?
Review Starlight. This is like it's like a cross between like Utena. I can't ever think of it. Starts with a T. The all women's theater, but it's like Battle to the Death Idols.
Oh, okay.
Like
probably why I've never heard of it.
Yeah, like they're all battling to become like the school's idol, but it's like it's all girls like trying to become the school idol basically, and it's like a battle to the death, like kind of like a little bit Madoka Magica, a little bit like theater, idol, like a little bit of the whole like what is that? I own it. I can't think of it. The one about the idols. Love Live. A little bit of Love Live. I think that was everything out of this box. See, real girl. Yeah, okay, that was everything out of this box. I wanted to read this one. This is because this thing's like set up like a book. Let's see. In theater, the competition for the leading role can be cutthroat, and at this school, they're using real weapons. As the 99th graduating class of the Sessio Music Academy prepares for their annual review, Starlight, aspiring actress Karen Anjo is happy to just to have the chance to be in the cast. When Karen's childhood friend Hikari mysteriously arrives after years abroad, Karen quickly learns that there is more going on at Sessio than its normal drama classes. Following Hikari late one night, Karen discovers an elevator that takes her deep below the earth, where the secret auditions for the leads in Starlight is underway. A competition that is fought with real weapons as well as song and dance. Goaded by the giraffe in charge of the trials, Karen throws caution to the wind and makes the stage herself. Will she be ready to survive the ultimate contest of drama and skill that is Review Starlight?
Excuse me?
Because let's throw a giraffe in there because it's anime and we're
random. See? The giraffe, he's in charge.
Okay.
Like, not an anthropomorphized giraffe, just an actual honest-to-God giraffe.
We might have to fucking watch this.
I thought this was something you would enjoy, too. It seemed like... That's why I said Utena. It reminded me of, like, Utena. It's kind of like the surreal... Like, what are we watching? Like, Akuma Arashi, the one about the bears, and like the judges are human, are bears in human form.
Right.
This just seemed like crazy in a can, and I've been waiting for this to drop, and for the St. Patrick's Day sale, this was, I want to say, $50. I just said, fuck it, I have stimulus check coming. I'm gonna buy a couple of these things before they go out of print. Because this hasn't gotten a regular edition yet, and I was like, I got to see this at some point.
Oof. Ringing in my ears. Ugh.
Oh no.
Just like all of a sudden it's like I'm like say something.
Huh?
What?
What?
Who? Where? When? How?
Your butt?
I think I'll stay out of Cupcake's butt.
Joke's on you. I don't have an asshole. I just have a smoking crater where it used to be.
Well, I'll stay out of your crater.
Too many Diablo chicken taquitos at night.
Uh,
I don't even remember what was in this box. Fire Force Season 1, Part 1. Okay. Everybody laughs at me for buying this, but I loved the whole concept of Soul Eater when I found out that I'm like, this art design looks really similar. Someone's like, this is the same person who wrote Soul Eater. I'm like, I gotta give it a shot.
Neat.
Right. Plus, I love the idea of demonic fighting fire people. Firefighters. Couldn't think of the word. Because it's not just men, it's ladies too. There are ladies in here.
Ooh.
Part 2. Are you a bad enough dude to save the president? Sorry, that's all I could think of.
If you're Gerard Butler, you can. Oop.
Because I'm a consumer whore and I have no sense. Code Geass, Akito the Exiled.
Why?
I have everything else. This was the only part I was missing. Please tell me this is in English. Okay, thank God. Like the movies aren't dubbed, but this is, and the TV series is, but they didn't dub the movie. And I'm not sure why.
'Cause they hate you.
This
Okay. This one was a little out of left field, but I didn't even know it existed until somebody told me, and it was going out of print. Bartender.
Oh, I love
Ooh.
Bartender.
I have no idea what this is about, but
A guy makes drinks and you hear interesting stories.
Oh, this is one we're definitely gonna have to watch. Shout Factory, the people who are working with G-Kids to do the Ghibli Steelbooks, are behind this edition, and they sent me an email like, "Hey, we made this. Nobody's buying this. We're going to liquidate our stock. Buy a copy."
Nice.
Yeah, it's from alltheanime.com. I've never even heard of this website.
Not saying something. Yeah, I've never heard of it, but then again, I'm not the anime consumer whore and how, so, that's not too hard to stretch to think that I don't know.
Dude, I've never heard of it. This was the first time I ever heard of this. And no one's ever talked to me. Like, there are people who are bigger esoteric anime fans than I am, and I've never heard them talk about it.
So, Bartender anime.
What happened?
There we go. Found the manga on Wikipedia.
Oops,
Follows the nightlife of Ryu Sasakura,
What?
a bartending prodigy who is said to mix the best cocktails anyone has ever tasted. Upon returning from his studies in France, Ryu works as an assistant for a senior bartender at the bar Lapin, He later opens his own bar, the Eden Hall, which is hidden in the nook of the Ginza district in downtown Tokyo. Rumor holds that potential patrons cannot simply find and enter Eden Hall, rather they must be invited by the host. Hi, ow.
Wait. I can't move my
I don't
fingers
have
up.
any. Well, I do have I don't have any little critters around here, do I?
He
I
doesn't
have
speak
a little
anymore.
dolphin.
Speaker fell out.
Oh no!
Quack.
No, it's a T-Rex or Velociraptor, whatever it is. Velociraptor.
It's a Velociraptor.
You're a Velociraptor.
So is your face.
My face is a Velociraptor. You're right. And then finally, I have Lord Marksman and the Vandus.
The what?
Lord Marksman was like $20. They were trying to get rid of it.
I've
And-
never heard of this.
I've never heard of this either, but apparently,
Oh
I'm
my
seeing that
god,
right-
those boobs!
oh, you see that too? You see that too? That one
Those-
tit is sticking out like 10 inches.
Those suck.
And if you
I'm
look,
trying to figure out her shirt. They're like socks.
right? They literally are socks because if you see, she's got it like pinched at the collar, and
Yeah.
then it wraps around her midsection. Actually, here's another picture of her on the back. Yeah, I know, booty shot. Shut up. Dude, look at her tits. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Her neck is going, like, in a weird angle that I don't think people's necks are supposed to turn.
I think she broke her neck and then her boob exploded.
Right?
It exploded.
I don't know. Like, don't ask me why I bought this. I'm at the point where I buy things that look stupid and interesting. And I'm not gonna lie, it's your fault that anything where the art just looks really fucked up, I imagine it must be worth my time to at least give it a shot. And I mostly focus on shit like this, where they do like a profile shot of a girl, and her tits are in one direction, her head's in another, and her arms and legs are going in yet a third direction.
At least
Like-
she's not doing a boob butt pose.
Yeah, like,
At
her
least her
ass is
back
going
is
this
going the
way.
right way.
her tits are going out this way, her arms are going this way, and her neck's looking at you. Like,
I
like-
guess we have to watch that too.
these animators went to school for 10 years and lost all track of, like, getting their perspective set correctly on a body.
You don't know that they went to school.
I may not have. And I mean, clearly Mr. Redhead is the main character, and these guys up here must be like his support. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Like, all the dudes on top, they're all like the support generals. And then these three are the main characters.
I guess.
And what do you want to bet that Miss Brunette is flat as a board? I mean, you can't see because she's got the nameplate in the way. But yeah. I think that was everything out of this. Still where it wanted to go.
Okay, I'm loading up some images
Okay.
from it. Oh my.
Oh boy.
Oh, there's a white hair. Okay, there's the white hair woman and the blonde and another blonde and someone with blue hair. I'm not really seeing the brunette a lot.
Huh. And then, of course,
What is that rated? Jeez.
Hang on, let me look. I think that's I think that's, hang on, where did I put it? Here it is. It is rated the where's the rating on this? TVMA.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean, given that girl's tit, it's kind of given it's at least teen. I mean, it's not really.
No, brunette has boobs.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you're allowed to be a woman without boobs in this universe.
Probably.
Again, there's enough of that.
That is a lot of eye makeup. Holy shit.
I was about to say, I'm not wearing much.
No, you're not. Here, I'll post this. Where's... I was trying to figure out what was going on with her contacts. Now I realized that's all eye makeup around her eyelids. I was like, damn, girl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
But Amazon Bag was what I was just talking about. The Elusive Fruits Basket Season 2, Part 2.
Well, at least you got it.
Yeah, I got a copy. Like, as soon as I heard it was out of print, I went and found a copy. It cost me $90, but like at this point I come this far, so it was just like the money sunk. And now they did the final season, so now I have no idea what they're gonna do here, because this was supposed to be like the complete deal, and they're gonna have to do another one for the final season.
Yeah.
What they're saying might have another season after that, because they don't know if they can complete the entire story in the final season. So what happened to Attack on Titan? Like, it's the final season. Actually, we're gonna have time. We're gonna do part 2 of the final season. And then finally, the big box of destruction. Oh, actually, I have one more before this. Right. You of all people, I think, actually, you both will probably enjoy what came in this. Because every time I do one of these, I always regret what I don't get. And then I get it after the campaign's over. So don't laugh at me, because I don't really have a use for it. But as soon as I find out they still have some, I can't ever say no. And I pay an extra $10 that I should just pay when the damn thing comes, or when I have the chance. But can't say no. How bad was the damage on this? What damage? What are they talking about? There's not even any damage to this. They told me these were damaged. This isn't damaged. There's not even any marks.
Oh, that is pretty.
It's the art guidebook to Emma Victorian Romance.
Nice.
So it's like it's like an actual book about the design process and the characters and yeah, but they said like, oh yeah, it's got some damage, like maybe a little bit of like somebody like it got a little pressed here, but that's whatever. Like I don't care about that. It's not even like it's not like if this is smooth. There's no indent in the back. It's just like it got like imprinted a little bit and it's stuck on the back of the binding. Which what do I care? So yeah, I have both of Right Stuff's guidebooks to their Kickstarters because I also bought the area guidebook after it. Like both times I did one of their Kickstarters, I like chose to skip the art books. I'm like, I don't need the art book. And then I like regret it, and they're like, hey, we have art books left over. And I'm like, fine. God, I got a good throw. All three of those have gone right where I want them to go over my pile.
Good.
I actually don't even know what's in here.
Oh.
I can't remember.
Well, you're about
Those other
to
ones,
find
I open
out.
them, I'm like, oh yeah, it's that order. This is a big one. I don't know what I ordered here. Like, I'm sure I'm going to open it and be like, oh yeah, it's that order. Oh shit! What did I order? What the order?
Okay, that was funny because so I got a call and I had decreased the volume on the iPad, and it was Kiki going, "Oh my god, those boobs!" And I was either going, "Please don't let that be recorded on my call, please."
Oh god!
Kiki going, "Oh my god, the boobs! Oh my god!" I hope he didn't hear that.
This is your punishment, Mish. This is why you shouldn't be playing hooky from your job.
I do what I want.
I know. I hope it didn't get recorded.
I also hope that.
Granted, it's not the worst that's ever been recorded on one of my calls. Especially when I've gotten inbound calls from the NRA where they're like, the NRA is the reason why our children get killed, and you can shove those guns up your vagina. And I'm like, okay, that's not how I get off. But we're recording this call for law enforcement purposes. Okay, thanks, bye. Click.
Good time. Good
Okay.
time.
What's in the box?
You're academia, okay.
It's the second movie.
Ah.
I have them both on steelbooks because I'm a consumer. All right.
Oh, Konosuba.
Konosuba Season 2.
Speaking of boobs.
Hey, you leave Aqua out of this, damn it. Oh, you're talking about Darkness? With her boob plate mail? I'm hoping Season 2 is better than Season 1, because Season 1 was kind of... People talk about this like it was like the second coming of Christ, but it wasn't bad. Like a solid B effort, but like I didn't like laugh out loud all the time at it.
I don't know if it's bad or not that every time I see like a commercial for the new Kong vs. Godzilla, it's like, we need Kong to help us against Godzilla. I'm like, yeah, until we need that big ass lizard kaiju.
I don't.
Like half the time we're trying to get rid of Godzilla and we end up waking something else up that we need Godzilla's help beat. And
I haven't seen it yet, but I think they end up needing Godzilla, so...
Okay.
Generally the deal is they think Godzilla is the worst thing to come out of the depths of the ocean, and then something else wakes up, like King Ghidorah, or I forget what the slime monster is called. But the slime monster is like generally considered like the worst of the worst.
I'm pretty sure they end up having to work together.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Jason versus Freddy. Black Clover, season 1, part 5.
Kill.
But I'm just sitting there going like, that's usually the theme of all the previous Godzilla movies. Except for the one with Matthew Broderick in it.
Akira!
Ooh,
I have to
okay.
send an email about this because it's the SD disc is in here instead of the 4K disc.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Whoopsie!
So I'll have to do that probably over the weekend.
Okay.
Black Clover season 1, part 1.
Well, that's convenient.
I'm pretty sure this is the order where I got it. I got most of it. Season 1, part 2.
Ah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I haven't seen Godzilla vs. Kong yet either.
General consensus is it's people either love it or they absolutely hated it. There's like no in between. Oh, that's fun. One Punch Man season 2. Oh, that just bleh. Oh, it does not like that. There it goes.
Yay! One Punch.
I'm told this wasn't as good as season 1, but I loved season 1, so I bought it.
It just has one problem, and I can't say it without spoiling, so...
Okay. But I'll know it when I see it.
Yeah, otherwise it is fucking great.
Because season 1 was phenomenal. If only for the fight between Gino, the sparring match between Gino and Saitama.
Yeah.
Plus, I loved the ending theme to season 1. Like where it starts with the like alarm clock. Okay. Oh, it didn't like that. Okay. Hopefully. Right. Oh. My Hero Academia season 4 part 2.
Okay.
It's part 1. I remember this because this came first because I had just ordered season 4 part 1. I just finished season 3 and I'm like, I want to see season 4. It's all out. And they're like, we're out of stock of season 4 part 1 and we don't know when we're going to get a copy after I'd already ordered it. I was like, fuck, I could go to Walmart, Target, Best Buy. They all had copies of season 4 part 1. And I was like, fuck. So I had this and no part 1. I was like, ugh.
So that's why I was like, oh, I have a new computer, and maybe one of these nights I can actually stream a movie for everyone.
Right.
Yay. Oh yeah, we finally got our Christmas presents for my brother-in-law. Hubby got the complete season of The Americans, and they got me the complete series of Hannibal.
Right.
Ooh.
With Hans Mikkelsen, I think that's how you say his name. Has
fuck, are
Lawrence
you
Fishburne
kidding
in it.
me? No! What?
What, Cupcake? Is he dead? I think he's
Fuck.
dead.
Is something broken?
Season 5 plus art book. I had to order the one with the art book for this to fit correctly. Or part 5 with art book. There was 2 versions of part 5. There's one with or without the art book. I was like, I don't need the art book. I'll just order the regular season. The art book fits in here. Can I even get that anymore? Was that true of season 1 as well? Oh my god. Oh, it's just that I would have ordered that had I known that was an issue. Okay, there's regular part 5. There's part 5 plus season 2 part 5 plus art book. Of course, season 1 plus part 5 plus art book is no longer available.
Because that's how it works.
Oh my fucking god. Why is that? Yeah, no, that's right. There's enough room for an art box and an art book in there. I should have known there was something up.
Anyways, thing is, I'm not gonna get HBO Plus or HBO Max, whatever it's called, just to watch it. Kong versus Godzilla. I can't remember if it's on anything else right now.
It's only on it for a limited time, so.
Yeah, because that's one of the ones that I'm gonna get. At some point, I am going to collect the rest of the OG Godzilla movies. There's the guy in the lizard suit.
Right.
But yes, I have Kong Skull Island, via Amazon. And yes, partially it's because it was Kong and partially because Tom Hiddleston, but at least I'm honest.
Oh, I didn't know Tom Hiddleston was in that.
Yes. He's I think his last name is Conrad. But there's this one scene where he's describing the dangers of going into the jungle, and the one guy's like, what the fuck? There's bugs? They're big? What the fuck? Because he was a researcher and not been out. But there's an after credit scene where they survive, and it's basically it's Tom Hiddleston's character and Brie Larson's character, and they're like, they're looking at the double two-way mirror, and they're like, we get it, we're not going to tell anybody, nothing happens, blah blah blah. And they come out and then they start talking about something else, and they show the petroglyph kind of things, like the paintings on cave walls, and they showed Godzilla, and I shouted in joy because I'm like, Godzilla! Yeah! But yeah, I was so happy that they were redoing Godzilla. From the. But, I'm not that was before I saw the first one that they did. So,
Godzilla's always been a big thing for my mom and I.
Cool. Oh yeah, so we're basically help desk hasn't gotten back to me because I was kind of just in case you have a link that I could use to download the program I need to work from home. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
They haven't responded, so I'm just going. We're going to wait until the end of work tomorrow, set up the new computer, and then on my day off on Friday, call in to help desk to be like, "Hey, help me set this up, please." Okay, thanks.
Oh, it's Jackie Chan's birthday.
No, very nice.
I don't know how old he is, just that it's his birthday. He's got to be 60-something at least, right?
Right.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Jackie.
How old is Jackie Chan? He is 67.
Ooh. He is getting up there.
He was born April 7th, 1954. Oh, wow, he is slightly younger than my mom.
Probably still doing his own stunts, though. If he's
Yeah.
still working in media. I don't know.
Wow. And he's one of those folks in the entertainment industry that have been actually married and in a relationship for a very long time. He got married in 1982.
No. Before I was born.
Yes.
Oh, at least I can still get a copy. Fug.
Well, that's good.
I should have known! I should have known!
Well, you didn't, so...
That's the first time they've ever been like, yeah, the art book is something you have to order separate. Like, what?
Sure.
And I wouldn't even care about the art book. This is the first time that they've been like, there's room in the box for the art book.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Are you gonna get it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just trying to decide how angry I should be before I use like I have thousands of dollars of Amazon bonus points, and I'm like just gonna probably use some of that to get it, and it just
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cupcake. That didn't go through.
it's still annoying because I also am going to have to do the same thing. Well, I have to get it for both, but season 1 isn't available on Right Stuff anymore, so I have to get it from Amazon. But Right Stuff has season 2, part 5, with the book available, and that's just that part isn't as big of a deal because I got all of season 2 from an eBay listing, and all I really want is the art book just to complete the box out.
I have sorrow for you, Cupcake.
I know. It's just annoying. I really should just see if there is room before I order it, because if it turns out that the art book fit isn't actually a thing, then I don't know.
Okay.
That's just annoying. I did not expect that.
Yay. Yeah, eventually, like I think I mentioned a Cupcake. I had joined a few new servers. And I joined Doctor Who, Harry Potter, and Star Wars. And like there's so much traffic, like people talking, which is good. You know, it's an active server. But I'm like, there's just so like all these people talking like all the time. I'm like, how am I supposed to insert myself into the conversation and keep up when I work? And I'm like, and that's fine that, you know, like I understand that there are students on Discord, you can don't have to be 18 to be on Discord.
Right.
So, high school students, college students, or someone who works odd hours and can have a chunk of time to talk. But I'm just thinking, I can't keep up. Can't keep up. So I decided, I'm like, let me just leave the Harry Potter and Star Wars. I'll stay in Doctor Who. Because Doctor Who. But I can always rejoin. But,
I am so behind on Doctor Who.
Yeah, I stopped watching in the middle of 10 or something like that, midway through. Like I wasn't like dedicated watching it. I would just catch it when it was on TV, and I wasn't watching anything else. But I have a Doctor Who Pinterest board, and so I know a lot of what happens between 9 and 11, a little bit of 12. But the two that I remember that are, I guess, favorites because I remember them, but the two that I really remember is one from 9 with the plastic stuff that comes alive. I think it was like the season opener for that season, possibly. And then the one with 10 and Rose, and they think they're going to 1974 to party and at the disco, and they step out of the TARDIS, and they're in like 1874, and there's a bunch of Queen's guards standing there with like swords pointing at them, and they're like, okay, well, and ends with, oh, so that's why the royal family's weird. They're all werewolves. Like, oh, it makes sense now.
I was watching up to Peter Capaldi's run. He's the 12th Doctor, about the start of his.
Okay.
And I forgot what happened. It's not because he became the Doctor, just something happened and we got behind, and now we're really behind, and I just haven't picked it back up. I still love Doctor Who, I just haven't gotten back to it.
Makes sense. Alright, so...
It is not, I don't remember the article itself, but Eccleston's actually finally came out and said he's willing to come back, so...
Ooh. Because 9 is my favorite, followed by 10.
Mm-hmm.
And
10 is a lot of people's favorite. Considering that he married the Doctor's daughter and had a daughter.
He married the Doctor's daughter, and he had a daughter. There was like something like that explained how all that stuff, and
yeah,
and
it was wonderful. Well, the Doctor's daughter played the Doctor's daughter and had the Doctor's daughter.
Exactly.
Yeah, wonderful. But yeah,
very Doctor Who.
And Tennant is just a great actor in general.
Yeah.
And so fine.
Well, yes.
There is that.
Although I from the clip from, I'm only part of the way through episode 1 of Good Omens. Because I just kind of stopped watching them. I'm like, I'll pick it up later. I was like, yes. Oh, it's like, hello, dear snake demon. Hello. David Tennant with snake eyes. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, yes, Chris Ecclesian's or
Eccleston wouldn't come back for the longest time because being the Doctor gave him an eating disorder.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure because when you're the Doctor, you have to be the Doctor all the time, even when you're not working. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's like, it's such a favorite for, I mean, basically all of Great Britain.
Not even that, just it's Great Britain, but the Doctor is worldwide nowadays, though. So
yeah, that too. And like, because I saw a Pinterest thing where it's like when Doctor Who is on in Great Britain, people just, there's nothing else going on. We're watching Doctor Who, and then they were saying like the poster was like their phone rang, his friend's phone rang, and they picked up, didn't say hello, didn't say who's this, just said, "Who the bleep is calling your Doctor Who? Oh, it's on? I'll call back." Click. Never
yeah.
called back.
Was I muted the entire time?
Yes.
Oh my god, thank god!
Were you talking?
I had a small grease fire.
Oh, are you alright?
Everything is fine. I contained it. That's why we have fire extinguishers, but that was a little scary. I'm done. I added wet ingredients to hot oil without thinking about what I was doing.
Oh god.
And it didn't, it wasn't in the pan. It sprayed up because I turned the container of mushrooms into the thing, and it caught the burner next to it and went poof. I'm like, oh shit. Everything's fine. It cleaned up. It was just like a tiny little fire.
Well, alright then. What are you making?
I'm making fancy buttered noodles like I always do when we're recording.
Okay.
Because it's easy, and I'm lazy.
Okay, then since you're alright, or claim to be at least.
No, I'm alright. I can show you what's going on. Here I go. Okay. Hang on, let me turn it around. Oh, that's not what I want. That's the wrong button. I thought that was the turn it around. Here, I think it must be this one. No, that's not what I want. Where's the button to...
Ooh,
oh, there it is. You can zoom in on it. There you go. You can see everything is fine. Nothing's on fire.
Okay.
Okay, Chunkafleechki.
We'll go back to talking about Doctor Who then.
But I was worried about the huge hiss and the fire and it being picked up on the recording, and I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. After I put the fire out, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. You guys didn't say anything, you just kept talking about Doctor Who, and I'm like, oh. Okay.
Anyway, even though I hadn't been watching Doctor Who, I was so psyched when Jodie Whittaker became the 13th Doctor, because finally a lady Doctor.
Yeah.
Also because she also is a looker. Because I've seen Jodie Whittaker in other things, and she fine.
Right.
Because my pansexual ass will find almost anyone attractive.
So you're not wrong.
That, and I love her suspenders.
Right.
Those are good too.
Okay, I think I have.
Although I will say I had a double take moment when I watched the one Terminator movie, because I was like, is that Matt Smith? Yeah, it's Matt Smith.
Oh, right.
Because I was not used to seeing him with a buzz cut. I was like, I'm used to seeing...
how do you say that? Is
Genesis?
yeah.
Yeah, so-
I actually haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
It's bad if I remember correctly.
Yes.
It's not the greatest.
It's no longer canon either.
Yeah, no, they took it out of canon. I think that's right either.
Although I had to watch the latest one because, Linda Hamilton and Arnold.
Yeah. I haven't seen that one either.
But that one, I will say, like, they kind of did a little switcheroos, but I liked it.
I'll eventually see it. I'll get around to it. Like everything, I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
Kante says from his pile of anime. I'll get to it eventually.
Ooh. We could watch Godzilla vs. Kong tonight.
Maybe? You guys can.
Maybe.
I gotta open in the morning.
Oh my god, hubby's home.
Hi, Mr.
Yay! He's returned from the salt mines.
Food.
Hang on. No more webcam. Hang on.
Oh god.
The naked Mr. Kiki. Ow.
I'm not watching. He's like coming in strip. What the hell happened?
Yeah, Mr. Kiki came in and he had turned off the webcam, and I'm assuming he's changing out of work clothes because he looked like he was in work clothes.
Oh, I'm sure he was. So she wasn't expecting Mr. Keith to be home this soon.
Yeah. But yeah, so Snowpiercer is done as of not this past Monday, but the Monday before. And then last week, Supergirl and Manifest started, which are two other of our hubby and I shows that we watch together.
Right.
So Supergirl is on Tuesday nights and Manifest is on Wednesday.
Right.
So I could probably watch it. It's just would probably have to either be before or after.
I'm sorry I'm not around to like watch stuff with you guys. It's just been crazy at work and
yeah, I understand, basically it's like
I
you
feel
meet
bad
Kiki and
right.
then OV and occasionally Spags and then
Right.
like that's it.
Right.
And I could invite my one army buddy, but he's not on Discord often either, so
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I just gotta figure. I'm like, all of a sudden, like, crickets. I'm like,
Right.
okay, I guess we're all just busy and.
Really? Oh shit! Oh god damn it!
Is you set on fire again?
The noodles boiled over. I turned away to pull the strainer out. I turned back and it was boiling over, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
Is that turn my face for 2 seconds?
what I get. I knew it was trying to do it before, but I thought because I turned it down, it was not going to, do it. I turned away, and when I turned back, it was rolling over, and I'm like, oh, so bitch. All right. Well, let's get you fed, you little porker. Oh, yeah, brother, I ain't so fat. Oh, so fat, brother. Eat a chunk of monk. Chunk of monk.
Just so horrible. Oh, let me fix your ear, Stinky. Airing out your ear. Oh. It's so nice to be able to walk outside.
Right.
Bare feet, but no jacket.
I returned.
Hey-oh.
I had pizza.
Pizza?
And I just sat on my fucking spider bite.
Ow. Well, you shouldn't have done that.
No, I
That
shouldn't
wasn't a good
have.
idea.
It was not.
Is it at least healing up, or is it still...
No, it's... So... From its original state, it did double up in size, which was bad.
Right.
And it's been leaking, like, constantly.
Oh, no.
Which is both good and bad.
Yeah.
Because that means it's healing. But it also means it has...
spider that bit you.
Huh?
Like that one. That had to have been a nasty spider that bit you, because...
Yeah, I didn't see, obviously, what it was. I was asleep, but...
Right.
But it was no
That's what I'm
little
saying,
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like I didn't want to get it, bitten by a spider that would cause me to get infected, but at least the pus means that it's healing.
Yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily pus. It's the cell walls are broken down because it's neurotoxin. I mean, there's probably pus, but the open weeping wound worries me because that means it was something that has a strong neurotoxin.
Well, I've been to a doctor. I have antibiotics. I'm taking 2 different kinds of pills.
Right.
And I've been given
There's not really much you can do post-bite other than just try to treat it the best you can.
Yeah.
It's kind of like spilled milk. Once it's spilled, it can't be unspilled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. That's what they're doing. Okay. I saw this happening. So they're widening a main street by me.
Now, hopefully... Oh.
I also hope whatever type of fucking spider it was, it's gone now.
What's up to you?
Well, usually spiders bite out of fear, so you probably crushed it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's... Spiders aren't known for being belligerent fighters. I don't know how else to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably smoked that thing, but good. All right.
So, MST3K, yeah, that's what I meant to say, is kickstarting.
Another season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Okay, maybe not that shocked. Okay.
To clear out some of the utensil packs from some of the restaurants. all the takeout that we've gotten over the past year, and they're like, "Oh, here's a pack with a knife, fork, and spoon, and a little napkin." And
Right.
like, we have some here, so thanks.
Takes for nothing. Oh, I love this. It's such a dumb dinner, but it's so good.
I forget, what did you make again?
So basically, you saute onions, bell peppers. I need diced. I added some frozen mushrooms. That's what caused the initial fire. And you saute those until they're soft and brown. I add a bag of cabbage because that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add some egg noodles like you use for soup. And then just basically a couple tablespoons of butter rolled in. Turn it over a couple times. Mix thoroughly. That's it. It's just like fancy butter noodles.
Yeah, we had a similar dish growing up. My dad called it Chunkaflichki. I have no idea if that was just his term for it or if that was actually
What was it called?
Chunkaflichki.
It's also been called haluski. All kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, so basically same thing, like saute onions and cabbage in butter or oil, whatever you like.
Right.
And also diced ham. And then add the egg noodles, turn it a few times, and voila.
Yep.
So
Pretty much
especially
what I
when you
got.
have kids, it's like really easy
Right.
to make, and you can make it as big or as little as you want.
Right.
And then for after Thanksgiving, what my mom would do is she would take like leftover turkey and leftover stuffing and make a casserole out of it.
Yep.
One of my favorite casseroles.
Right.
But
We used to
hubby
make a
doesn't eat
soup out of
casserole,
leftover
so-
turkey, and it was so good. So good. All right.
I mean, I could eat stuffing all day, but carbs that are
Right.
really the good carbs for me. So
We make a stew out of leftover turkey.
nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So the hyacinths are up, and the little tiny purple flowers are up.
Ooh, tiny purple flowers.
Yes, I'm not sure what they're called.
Are they forget-me-nots?
Here are these guys.
Pardon.
So those guys right there. Not quite sure what they're.
Oh, those look like hyacinths.
So hyacinths. Right there. So those are the hyacinths. And then we have the white hyacinths.
Ooh.
So come over here. So there's the ones, but then you can kind of see. Maybe they're hyacinths and they're just really tiny, but so like they look like that. And then those are kind of. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's a mystery, but the daffodils are out front. And a bunch of other green stuff coming up. And the big
Is
ass.
it hilarious that Ewan McGregor is slowly turning into Alec Guinness?
What?
Have you seen the prep photo for him for the new Obi-Wan Kenobi series?
No, I haven't.
Hang on. Over here. You guys.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Although I also love that his brother, who's in the Air Force of Scotland or over in Great Britain area, his call sign is OB2. Apparently, I haven't fact checked that, but it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, he has a brother in an Air Force, and his call sign's OB2 because his brother's Obi-Wan.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, and we still got the big ass tree trunks up here from last summer. Not sure what we're gonna do with them, or if my brother's gonna eventually come get them. But you know, there's the whole thing of, they're in the backyard and get them in the front yard, and easiest way to do that is between the two houses, where if there's a lot of rain, it gets nice and squishy, and yeah, not good. When you have to get a truck or some other large machinery back that way. Baxter's on a sniffy expedition because, it's springtime and he hasn't been out here all winter, so he has to wander around and sniffy his yard.
How big's your yard again?
No idea. It's not that big.
I don't know. It seems that big.
Well, in terms of grass, there's like one strip of grass, and the rest of it's been landscaped to shit because that's what the last owner did, and she had landscapers doing shit. And but it's decent size, I guess. I don't know. I grew up with a tiny ass backyard. That, as a kid, as a small child, maybe up to like 8 or 9, it was okay. But then once we start getting old enough and we could kick a ball really good, it's like, yeah, we're kicking it over the fence out into the street. So, let me see if I can. So I'm kind of okay. This is like being weird. You can do port or lock off. Let me see if that fixes it. Maybe not. So let me actually take a picture. I stand. Okay, let me go back here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of wondering myself. So I'm pretty much standing at the back of the property in these pictures. Just before the a small ditch where the goes to the fence as it uploads. So the first picture is like the shed is basically the tree, the line, maybe like 1 or 2 feet, and then it's the line. And then on the right, the bottom picture, the yellow bushes are kind of, and the bushes by the deck are the property line. Maybe another foot or two. So, and you can kind of see it's not too shabby, but as you can see in the top picture, it's just like a strip of grass.
It's a decent enough size.
Yeah. Are you having fun, Stinky? I usually let him every once in a while, like, just have a sneaky expedition, you know. As a bumblebee. Cupcake.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry, my mom just got home, so she's like, "What's going on? Did you ever get to the bank for your grandpa?" I'm like, I'm gonna go here in a little bit."
Yeah, we should probably start wrapping it up.
I was gonna say we're 20 minutes to 5, so
Yeah, probably something like that. So,
okay.
Anyway, so signing off, I guess.
Yep. Ooh. Pardon?
You alright?
Yep. Thanks for podding with me.
Yeah, no problem.
Anytime.
Alright.
To the news.
Goodbye, my friends.
Goodbye.
Where's the button?
Thank you once again for listening to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, Miss, and of course me, the tea-powered robot, the Jabberbot. Stay safe, my fellow internet beings.